Alright, let's get this moving. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Skills. Bow 2, Greatsword 3, tunics. I think we're full on equipment now. Armor smithing, blacksmithing, carpentry, charcuterie. Okay. Carpentry. So, let's look at our blacksmithing real quick. Smithing. Guess at some point we can try to work on getting those. So we need dandelions and that's all. So and then armor logs. Probably just have to make some gear to level that up. What's gonna be just bronze sheets, I guess. Okay. Let's look at our leatherworking. Excuse me. So, what are we wearing gear-wise? We don't have gloves yet. We don't have bracers yet. But we got 4 pieces of other stuff. We're wearing heavy chest and medium for other pieces. And we're running greatsword and bow. We've got bronze skinning, or bronze tools in general, chopping axe, pickaxe, and skinning knife. Alright, let's take a look at what else we got going on. So we're learning Petra. Got some bronze. Part of me wondered about making some cooking stuff and trying to get better cooking food. Work my way up to at least a simple roast. Let's see what's the difference between simple roast and Langrous Links. 3, 9, 110, 20. 3, 3, 110. So basically, yeah, those are definitely worth more. Just gotta get them there. Oh, it's charcuterie. That actually would probably. Oh, both of those would be easy. So everything here is charcuterie except for those grilled meat chunks. So work on a charcuterie, I guess. Grab the deer carcasses and the boar carcasses. That. See what we can do. It all requires meat chunks. Actually, that requires deer shank. Well, let's see what happens. We can get it to level 3, maybe. Maybe something else will open up. If we're lucky. One more. Okay. So level 3 opened up. Meat strips. Oh, deer shank. I wonder if that is made at the charcuterie table and we can't make it here. God, I wish they'd give us a better way of sorting this stuff. No, it doesn't look like I've opened it yet. Well, let's make some meat chunks. See where that gets us. What did we need for simple roast? Just tallow? Okay. Oh, okay. Poorly. Okay, so now we can do the deer there at least. One more. Should give us level 5. And what did that open up? Poorly parted boar. We have poorly parted deer. So that gives us the shanks we need to make that. The only problem is we don't have lard and we don't have tallow. And we don't have the ability to make those. So, I guess those drop off of humanoids at least. Like NPCs that you could fight. Okay, well. Can make a few more meat chunks to get me through until time that I can get somewhere else. I wonder. Yeah, I guess I could use somebody else's house, but we'll refrain from doing that for the time being. And I don't have enough spots. We'll unlock some more spots. Let's put all the meat down in the bottom. Because I know if Nicole was watching, she'd be freaking out at how disorganized this is. So, all right. So, what are we gonna do now? Maybe do some mining. We'll work on our blacksmithing and maybe armor smithing, weaponsmithing. So we can run to the north, I guess. Either one of those areas is good. So, 7, 8, 9. We will need wood. Daisies. So if we see some dandelions, we need to snag dandelions so we can make our great sword. More daisies. Lots of daisies. No problem finding daisies. I wonder how. So I've kind of noticed that the moon is going through phases. So I'm kind of wondering, like, if we get a new moon, how bright things will be. I mean, I don't think they'll change it that much, but perhaps. So is that south thistle? Nope, pasque flower. Oops, wrong button. What the hell is that? Berries. I'll just pick up a few of those. Yeah, sorry, I'm pre-sorting my stuff. Make sure I got enough spaces for everything. Let's work like that. We'll plan on taking back 8 stacks of copper and 8 stacks of tin. And plenty of wood, hopefully. Be quiet. anybody's out there in Streamland watching, feel free to ask some questions. We had some pretty good conversations yesterday about stuff, so I'd like to continue that if we could. Looks like I got people watching. I don't know what you guys are doing. But yeah, please ask questions. I like talking about the game, so. Impure 10. Is this, the moon's still out, but it is starting to lighten up some. I may be hallucinating, but I really do feel like the moon has, like there's a phase thing now that they've added the new sky and stuff in. Because I could have sworn when we first got, I mean, it seems like it's really, really slow, but I feel like whenever we first got the sky patch, that the moon was fuller than what it is currently. I may be smoking something too, so hard to say. Can't get to this one because it keeps wanting to pick sand up. Maybe ditch that. I can pick the sand up. There we go. That'll work. I feel like that inventory thing is a little much. I guess for those who are watching and want to participate, when we go live, what crafting skill are you thinking you're going to focus on? Because it doesn't seem possible that you're going to be able to need to eat some food, level too many things at once and be, good at it. So what do you think you'll work on? Not really sure yet. I'm always the type that kind of fills in the gaps, like let everyone else pick what they want to do, and then I kind of come in after the fact and fill in the gaps. That's usually my play. Almost got all of our copper filled. What did I not pick up? Carcass, sinew, rough animal hide, intestines. Okay. Iron, copper. Almost got all of our copper we want. So from here we can focus on tin. So, well, the crafting discussion never happened apparently. So, what about combat? What do you like about the combat since verse 3? Are you okay with the changes, with the new leveling of cloth and or basically you level all your different kinds of armor and you level all your weapons? Does that work for you? Is there anything you'd like to change with that kind of setup? I know for me, I really wish they'd get the bow picked for one thing. But it sounds like it's going to be a little bit more before we get there. But otherwise, I'm a pretty big fan of the two-handed spear now, and the two-handed sword. Even when I'm tanking, I'm using the Great Maul instead of like a mace and shield and stuff, just because I don't know. I would rather try to block with the Maul than take another shot at doing the shield thing, especially without the shield bash. It almost kind of seems sort of pointless. Some copper there, yeah. All right, so got all my copper now. Now I need to fill up my tin. So let's get to looking for the tin. That's more iron. More iron. Iron. There's some tin. There's the sun. We'll actually be able to see. Well, shouldn't say that. We can see pretty well during the night and stuff too, with the changes they made to all the lighting. What about you guys? Is the game too bright for you now? I feel like in some cases it kind of is. I know they took the torches and lanterns and stuff out of the game, and it's, you know, they said it was for performance issues, which I can kind of see. You got a group of 6 people, either half of them holding torches or whatever, and everything's casting its own shadows. How all that's going to work together seems like it could be a little bit of a resource hog. So I can kind of see that. But the wolf caves themselves are just so bright now. I don't know what anybody else thinks about that. I'm afraid that now that they've kind of done what they've done, it's a we're not going back type of thing. Even, you know, if they figure out a way to make the lighting work better, I don't suspect, like, after 1.0 that we'll see a change in that sort of thing. Still looking for some more tin. More iron out this way. We got up here. Iron. Nice. Tin. Oh, a couple tin deposits. Okay, so we've tried to talk about crafting, we've tried to talk about weapons. What about, when do you think 1.0 is going to drop? I feel like they're probably pushing that fall 2025 date pretty hard. Don't get me wrong, I really want to see it happen. The sooner I can get into the game and it be real, per se, the better, for me at least. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But I recognize that they still have quite a bit of stuff to put together. You know, it sounds like they really want to get the feudal system kind of stuff worked out, along with the new Leoness 2.0, which it sounds like some of that goes hand in hand. So until they can get all of that working, I guess we're kind of waiting on things. Alright, we got all our tin, we got all our copper. Now we just need to go cut some trees somewhere. Can we cut these small firs? Oh. Didn't want to do that. That tree's not showing a thing. Neither's that Maybe I need to... There we go. Too hard. So we're stuck to saplings right now. Pretty sure those are, yeah, those are hardness level 3. So back to the woods we go. I guess we probably ought to work on our weaponsmithing first and get our try to get a little bit further along with our tools and stuff. That might make things, at least gathering stuff, a little bit easier. Because you can't cut down a big tree, which kind of sucks. He's got a cooking table. Let's take a look and see what I can do. I could make tallow and lard there. So it looks like I will need a cooking table to make tallow and lard for some of that cooking stuff. So that, or kill NPCs for tallow and lard. It happens pretty regularly. At least on my main tune it does. Not too hard. Those are too big. Too big. We'll start over here and work our way into the woods, I guess. Eat some food. That'll help. I guess for those of you that are watching, are you still actively playing? And if so, what are you doing in game currently? I know I've got some folks that are logging on just to do events and stuff. We still do our dungeon runs on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And then so people log in to do that. There's a couple of us that are still diehard and logging in every day to do stuff, mining and gathering and stuff. So So what are you guys up to? Are you taking a break? Are you playing other games? I know a lot of people are playing different stuff. I got a couple friends that are playing that Big Craft game. I know there's some folks that are still playing Dune pretty regularly. Just little odds and ends. People playing different things. I mean, I pretty much only playing this except on Fridays and Mondays, and some friends, real life friends. We play Baldur's Gate 3. We're on our third run through, I think, right now. So we playing with a few mods. So there's 4 of us, and then we all picked one of the NPCs to run along with us. So we basically have a small army running through the woods through the streets of Baldur's Gate. So we turned the difficulty up a little bit to try to balance it out. But it's, now that I think we're level 12 or something like that, it's gotten just stupid crazy. Excuse me. Where are we at on our wood gathering? Barely there. So I feel like when we get to 1.0, I think you're going to have a lot of people gathering to feed. So I guess you'll have split your guys up into your wood gatherers, your miners, and that sort of stuff. Because it's going to take quite a bit of materials to get yourselves out of the Dark Ages. How long have hi Ruby. I have been playing Pax Day since before early access. I played the 2 alphas that they had, Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, and then as soon as early access started, which was June 18th, 2024, I was playing then. So I've been playing for just over a year or so. I don't know what my hour count is for the game. I'm probably in the 2,000, 2,100 maybe hours or something in the game. So I've been playing for quite a while. I've seen the game evolve quite a bit from where it started to where it is now. So, but still enjoying it. I know a lot of people are kind of wanting more material, or they're waiting on certain things. So, but are you playing PAX right now, or I guess not currently, or are you more just interested in the game? And thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I got you. Well, I'm a little biased as I really enjoy the game. Um, but there's also a lot of, I think there's a lot of hate on the game right now too. Some of it may be warranted. Some of it is definitely not warranted. Um, I think graphics wise, it's a beautiful game. Um, I don't know that I've played one that is prettier. Um, the building system in the game is amazing. What you can build with it. Um, the crafting is I like the crafting. There's still some stuff that they're got to work out. Not all of the crafting skills are balanced yet. Like alchemy still needs quite a bit of work, and probably the cooking and the brewing need quite a bit of work. But I think um, the blacksmithing, leatherworking, weaponsmithing, carpentry, um, that type of stuff is all. Uh, I think it's all pretty tight currently. Um, I enjoy the combat system. You level weapons and you level your armor. So, and the armor is kind of set up into light, heavy, and medium. So the heavy is for more for the people that are tanking. The light and the medium are for healing and for DPS. And you can swap stuff up. So if you want to mix and match, you can do that. I can show you real quick how that looks. So you have combat skills. You can see here's your weapons, the bows, cleric stave. There's two different types of staves for healing. There's a cleric and a sylvan. The sylvan is very kind of revolves around heal over times and stuff, and some AoE heals. We have the great axe and the great maul, the great sword. So there's your your three big two-handed weapons, along with scroll down a little bit more. There's polearm, which is the two-handed spears. Excuse me. Swords and shields. You can see here, like the armor is broken into 6 pieces. So you got pants, helm, gloves, chest, boots, and arms. The boots, the chest, the helm, and the pants all have an ability. You can see these 4 things here. They all have an ability that goes with them. And the weapon has 3 abilities. So as you level those up, you can get better. You can wear tougher, better gear and stuff. And that coincides with the crafting levels as well. So when you first like armor smithing, you do bronze to begin with, and then once you hit a certain level, then you can start doing iron, and from iron you can go to wrought iron, and from wrought iron you can go to steel. So but I would if you're interested in the game, there's several streamers that do a really good job of streaming stuff. Kim B, she does a lot of streaming during the evenings and stuff, with just going around doing different things. Okay, I appreciate it. So this character is I'm kind of starting from scratch to see. Pardon me. So the game has changed a whole lot since early access to now. So the character that I run normally has been around since early access, and all of his skills are pretty close to max level and stuff. So I don't he doesn't have a feel for how much the system has changed. So I wanted to start a new character to see how all that worked out. and see how like early game was now. So that's the whole point of this character. And feel free to ask questions as we're running around and stuff. I'll try to answer it best I can. There's the garlic. So certain materials wind up getting gated kind of behind the tools that you have access to. Like right now I have the bronze pickaxe and bronze chopping axe, which means all I can really cut down currently are these small like saplings and stuff. The bigger trees I would need a stronger tool, you know, probably an iron tool or something. So I would one thing I would urge you to do is to read up on the how they plan on to do monetization for the game, with the plots and subscription and everything. I know when people first got when they first announced their plans for the monetization, some people got really upset about that because they felt like they hadn't been told, even though realistically the subscription has been out there for quite some time. Before early access even started, they had talked about doing subscription and stuff. So the subscription will keep you having access to your plots and stuff after you put them down. So all right, so I got all my wood, I've got my tin, I've got my copper, so you throw that sand away and run back up to the Petra. So these Petras you can see here, the one with the circle over it, those are starting Petras. Basically, when you create a new character, you'll pick a zone, you pick a server, which will be North American, European, or South Pacific. I guess that's what, no, AP, Asian Pacific. Is that what it is? I can't remember. Anyway, so there's 3 places you can pick from, and then there, well, at least that's how it is now in the test server stuff. And then from there, you'll pick a province. There's 4 provinces: Karis, Ancient, Inisgalia, and Mary. And within each province, there's 10 what are called home valleys, which are, if you read into the lore, they're basically valleys that are protected by the light and keep all the badness at bay and stuff. So for the most part, you only have to worry about critters and stuff. Although there are some places, like if I can pull up this map, these areas here, there are spirits that live here and they can be a little bit rough. So, and then these are camps of the NPCs. So one thing to note, there are no like friendly NPCs. So that, you know, there's nobody to sell stuff to other than other players. There's a marketing game that allows you to sell stuff to other players up here. So the premium, that basically goes with the subscription. So if I click on it, yeah. So if you right now, even though this is early access, they're basically showing us what the premium bonuses are going to be like during testing. This is how it'll be when the game goes live. So if you have a subscription, you'll basically get the premium bonuses. And then you'll also get tokens for your plots that you'll use to keep your plots active. So So with premium, you get 50% XP boost for your PV crafting and harvesting. You get 50% additional grace when you log in every day, and then you get 50% grace boost from gold offerings. So if we go to grace over here, grace is kind of like an in-game currency that you can use to purchase also a monthly premium subscription, but the game is a one-time buy to play forever. Yes, once you buy the game, you can always play, but you may not have access to plots. The subscription keeps your plots active, and you get those bonuses and stuff. So what'll happen is you'll get tokens for your plots and stuff. So if like it, there's a whole write-up on the web page if you go to playpaxday.com, and they do a really good write-up of how it all works. Sometimes I butcher stuff. Oh, thanks. And I don't work for Mainframe. uh I went to Zillow or someplace to have some shirts made because I really like the game. So yeah, so I'm a little biased. um um So, but yeah, with the token things, like if you bought the 4 plot game, so when you have the game, you have like there's 1, 2, and 4 plots, and I'm gonna try not to butcher this. So you can put down 4 plots. Like right now, once you buy the game, there's no additional money you have to throw down. The subscription doesn't become active until the final release of the game comes out, what they're calling 1.0. That's when subscription will go active. And if you buy now, you get like a free month of access and premium, I think is the way it's supposed to work. So depending on which package you get, the 1, 2, or 4 plot package, when you keep your subscription going, you'll get that many tokens every month, and you burn those tokens to keep your plots active. But say like you had 4, maybe you buy the 4 plots and you're really only using 2 plots. What you could do is take those 4 plots and then use 2 for 2 plots that you're using, and then the next month use 2 more tokens. So like, maybe bills are tight or something for a month and you need to like drop your subscription for a month. You could have those extra tokens there to help you get through. And I think the way it's going to work is you'll have a small grace period, maybe a week or so, and after your subscription lapses and that period lapses, then all of your stuff from your plots and all that will go into, it's this thing here. It's called so I can't remember the actual name for it, but basically you can see the refunded items. All the materials will go into here, so you won't lose anything if you lose your subscription for a little while, and you'll have access to this stuff. And that's the other thing I'm doing with this character too is they've added storage. Like, so this is the Petra, right? So these big stones, you'll see these stones all across the world, and these are basically where you'll res. Like if you were to die somewhere, like if I was to die like out here where this stone is, I would res at that stone, not back here. This stone serves as a resurrection crafting facility and some storage, and it'll allow you to port. Like if I was to go over here to Gnomes, and I think, yeah, that's where the major Petra is in Gnomes. If I go to there, I can discover that point, and then I can use my grace that I buy, and you can see right here, I can use that to teleport to those places that I've gone. So, here's the full map of Iniscalia. I can go to Gnomes, I can go to Tricassus, Langris, Javertus. If you make it up to Javertus, look around. There's some really awesome builds up there. There's some really cool folks up there. But you can basically bounce to all of these zones using Grace to teleport with. And then there are, so you can see I'm in the province of Iniscalia. There are these gates here, here, and here. These two gates will take you to different provinces. This one will take you to Mary. This one will take you to Bronier, which basically is just another full map like this with 10 more valleys. This is the PvP gate. It will take you to the PvP zone. It's called Lyonesse. And the next big batch of content is going to revolve around Lyonesse and stuff. They're expanding it to about the same size as one of these zones, I think. So that's how you get around in the zones and stuff. But what I was trying to get to, because I get sidetracked really easy, they've added storage to the Petras and stuff now, so you can store your stuff here. So even if you didn't keep your subscription, you could come in and put some stuff here, and every Petra in every valley you can have stuff at each one. So you've got that going for you as a no subscription player. So hopefully I explained that well and didn't confuse the crap out of you. So, well, thank you. So, but yeah, these the Petras have some rudimentary crafting stations set up. Here's a forge here. There's a weaponsmith workbench, an armorsmith. There's a spinning wheel for turning flax, wool, and cotton into thread that you can use. And then there's a tailoring table. This is the fletching table for making bows and arrows. Here's your leather working table. And you can see all the stuff that you can make through these tables. Now, if you have plots and stuff, you can put these types of tables down for yourself. And there's also additional tables for like making charcoal, or for the leather working. There's also there's a drying racks for making leather. That is, I think it's a little more, it takes longer, but in the end it's more efficient. And it's the same way with, like, you can go to the tailoring table and you can make some cloth, but it's more efficient if you use an actual loom instead. So, and there's you can make I can make bronze ingots here at the forge, but there's an actual furnace that you can make that's more efficient. You can make more stuff cheaper, but it takes 20 minutes or something like that, where here it's like an instantaneous type of thing. So, and then here's a campfire that allows you to do some cooking and stuff. So, but there's cooking in the game. There's armor crafting, weaponsmith. There's the fletching, jewel crafting, which currently is not really useful, but apparently there's some enchanting coming to the game, and you'll use stuff from the jewel crafting table to do the enchanting, along with alchemy. Alchemy makes potions currently, like health, spirit, stamina. There's some resistance potions you can make. So like I said, the crafting is really robust. Actually, let me pull that back up. If I go to my skills, so there's all the combat skills, right? If you go scroll down further, and really they need to like do this interface a little bit better. I would love to see the combat and the crafting skills be separated, but anyway, crafting wise, We have alchemy, armor smithing, baking, blacksmithing, carpentry, charcuterie, cooking, fletching, jewel crafting, leatherworking, mining, skinning, tailoring, weaponsmithing, winemaking and brewing, and wood cutting. So the wood cutting, the mining, and the skinning are your gathering skills, and they require tools to do their work. Winemaking and brewing, cooking, alchemy, baking, those are the crafts that make your consumables for the game. There's lots of different consumables, and you can mix and match what you want. And then, you have, if I will start soon, can I choose my server and how many? So currently for me, will a German community be good? If you're, yeah, there is a European server. And what I would do, check out the, if you use Discord, check out the official Pax Dei Discord, and they have different communities set up based off of language. So you can that'll probably help you quite a bit. But you would probably play on on the European server, because currently there's one server for North America, one server for European, for Europe. Sorry, I don't know what I said, European, and then one for Asia. So, or Asia, Australia, New Zealand type zone and stuff. So, now whether or not that will change when 1.0 drops, they have talked about having an RP server or a role-playing server for each zone. So, currently everything's kind of combined. So there's that. But the official Discord is a really good tool for getting the information and stuff that you need, and finding people to play with too. I mean, you can play solo. You can play this game solo, and even if I didn't have my friends to play with, I would still play it because I really do enjoy the game. But it is so much more fun playing with other folks. So I'll give you that. So let's make some bronze ingots. Any other questions you've got? Trying to think anything else that might be useful for you. Like I said, check out some of the other streamers and stuff. I'm not up on the streamers that are in Europe currently. I know there are quite a few streamers in Europe. And I know the population on the European servers are a lot higher, so you'll probably see more people when you're running around. I kind of picked this zone because I knew it was a lower population, and just didn't want to be in people's way with the character and stuff. So. Let's see. Trying to think if there's any other info I could share. I don't have anything. I guess if you've got more questions, feel free to ask. So, for the crafting and stuff, like especially with like armor smithing, leather working, tailoring, weaponsmithing, those skills, when you when you first start with them, like with the bronze stuff, the recipes are fairly simple. It usually only requires like 1 or 2 items and stuff. But as you move further and further and further into like iron, wrought iron, and steel, you wind up, you can see, like, you know, there's studs and spikes and nails and sheets and bars and stuff. And as you move further and further along, the crafting becomes more and more involved, and you wind up starting to have to use like some of the more involved pieces will have like maybe eight different items that you have to, hi Athena, you'll have to combine to make like one item and stuff. So, and it works the same way with the leather working and the tailoring and stuff. So yeah, the leather working is going to make your medium armor, and the tailor is going to make your light armor and stuff. So so we got that. We may make a couple different kinds of weapons and stuff just to level our... Oh, so yeah, here's the weaponsmithing table. This is what, you know, starting off with the bronze stuff. And like I said, once you get to like around level 10, like once I was close to level 10 in my weaponsmithing, iron items would start populating in here as well. And it's the same way with all the other stuff. So, so yeah, maybe extra pickaxe, extra chopping axe would be good. If I can find me some dandelions, some great swords would be nice. Hello. Not exactly sure how to pronounce that, but welcome to the stream. Thank you. Let's put some stuff away. Oh, I got some more wood. Grab that. Sorry, I'm bouncing around. So Revia is trying to decide whether or not she wants to come to Pax Day and play. So she's been here asking lots of questions and stuff about the game, and I have tried to answer them as best as possible. So official release, the current word of mouth from the devs on the Discord is autumn of 2025. Now, the problem with them saying autumn is autumn can be from September, whatever the seasonal start of autumn is, which is like September 20th, 21st, all the way up to like December 21, 22 or something like that. So somewhere in there, it's like, I think we're probably leaning more towards December at this point than anything. There's still quite a bit that they have to test and kind of get in the game for them to be close. Oh, well, thank you, Athena. Because there's all of the PvE stuff still needs to be kind of tested, and they haven't even put, well, all the new PvP stuff needs to be tested, and they haven't really put that into the game yet. So hopefully, my best guess is the PvP stuff, some of the new PvP stuff will be in by September, early September, and then they'll be doing incremental from there. Eltari says December as well. Yeah, I mean, they they have really emphasized that they want to make it happen by then. And some of the conspiracy theorists out there are like, well, they've got to meet that date or they're going to get sued by their investors and all this stuff. And I, you know, I know nothing about that sort of stuff, and I'm not even going to bother speculating because I don't know how any of that mess works. All I know is that they have said autumn 2025, and they seem pretty adamant about meeting those goals. So I'll leave it at that. Give me some bronze sheets. So hopefully everyone's getting along pretty well. Alright. Oof. One more shot. There we go. Level 2. Nice. Get some bronze blues. Sorry, I keep hearing a racket outside and I can't figure out what it is. Alright. Let's put our stuff aside for the time being. Try to organize our stuff here a little bit. We'll do a little exploring for a while. I need to see if I can find some dandelions. So I can make myself a better sword. And two, it'll just be nice to be able to see some more of the zone. I really need to find a market I can sell those antlers on. That bee-balm? And foxglove. Periwinkle. Question. After 1.0, if you move your plot in the middle of your month, do you use a brand new plot token? What if you shift your plot after a few minutes? No, I don't think so. I think the plot is that would be a horrible, horrible idea if that was how it worked. Um, I think it's just marks like it's almost like a permissions thing. Like if you've burnt a token, you have permission to put a plot down. That is how I view it in my head. Um, I don't really see because that would I mean if you wind up having to tweak your plot because what happens if you wind up you settle in, you've got a neighbor, they butt up against you, and all of a sudden like your plot changes shape and then they leave and you've got to like readjust your plot. You could get and you've already used your 4 plots. So you have 4 plots and you've got 4 tokens. If you have to adjust your plot, you'd be hosed. That would be that would be really, really bad game design. And I'm not saying that that's not a possibility, but I would hope that's not the case. Because you need to be able to tweak your plot and stuff based off of other people's stuff moving or getting pulled or what have you and stuff. You can't be uh that would just because someone could do something like that and then you could lose all your stuff or lose a chunk of stuff and you know it'd be griefing in a way. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that well because you could have someone basically do that, wait till your plot's settled and stuff, and then you pull their stuff, and it's like, well, if you don't have a plot to fix your stuff, well, your stuff's going to be free for all, and we're going to snag everything. So that would be a horrible. It would be worth asking on the Discord about it, but I I really really hope that's not the case because that, like I said, that's just really bad if that's what they intend. I I really feel like it's having when you burn the tokens, that's permission to put plots down. In my that's how my brain works at least. I hope I'm right too. Yeah, dating lines are elusive as crap, aren't they? I remember where they were in Bronier, but around here, I'm like, I have no freaking clue. I thought maybe coming down to the water there would be some around, but I am not seeing them. Freaking rain lilies. Rain lilies are like, it must be like an invasive species or something. Oh, hi. Change weapons. I think I'm going to have to consult the map to try to find dandelions at this point. Excuse me. I got lucky whenever when verse 3 first came out, and I found several spots of it. Now, granted, somebody built right on top of a good chunk of them, like a few days afterwards, but oh, what's this? Could it be? It's daisies. I can find daisies. Daisies are at the wazoo, but I cannot for the life of me find dandelions. Looks like I'm gonna have to consult the map. Oh, what's that? I bet it's more. No. Ah, damn, daisies. Thought they looked different. This is very sad. Welcome to the game. So Nos has been with me for, well, Nos is short for Nossaman, which was my original character in World of Warcraft like 20 some years ago. And some of the guys that I used to play with shortened it to Nos, so it stuck. Jacopo is from Count of Monte Cristo, because that is my favorite book of all times. Guess I have one. Is there a map with the location of all the materials? Yep. Give me a second and I'll link it. Let me pop over real quick. Actually been so long since I've actually had to find dandelions. I don't know that I remember what they look like. All I remember is them being yellow. I guess realistically, I'm going to have to wait for the little reticle thing to pop up probably more than anything. Where am I in the world? Yeah, I'm too far away. Right, I need to head back toward the road. Guess that's where the Inquisition keep. Yeah. Nice view, at least. Yep. It's a big one. If it was full of Zebians, that'd be the type that'd have a dungeon in it, I guess. Oh, excuse me. Plantago. That might be useful. I remember using it for something. I don't remember what at low level. Those are those flipping daisies I saw earlier that I was excited about. Yeah, the little gathering things a little bit annoying. It's in the way of combat. More Plantago. That's something I can never find on Nos. And apparently, like, it's all over the damn world here. Hmm. Oh, yeah, we're not going to find it. Oh well. Tree branch. All right. I fell in love with the game before I ever actually got to play it. When they originally announced the game, I think it was April of, so this is 25, April of 23, I guess. Like April 1st, 2023, they dropped the announcement and had this video, and they did another video with some of the devs talking about all the pieces of the game. And I you could see like um how enthused they were for the game, and just how much they were looking forward to getting it out to us so we could play the game, play the world and stuff. And it was just amazing, and it really sung to me, basically. So um uh, yeah, I just immediately signed up on the website, signed up for the Discord, and then just sat there and waited for the first alpha to come out. And I think the first alpha, there's only a couple hundred of us got invitations to the first alpha, and I was just like, just you know, couldn't wait. And when it dropped, so I still have like screenshots of the little house, because when the first alpha dropped, we only had one plot to build on. So you had this circular plot, and I ran around, and I remember also, and there wasn't a whole lot of information on the game. So I had come from a game where there was no fall damage, and like I spawned into the game, and I'm like running down this hill, and it was pretty steep, and we get to the spot, and there's like the little like tombstone marker, and it's like, here lies blah blah blah, and then here lies blah blah blah. And it was like there was just like this whole line of tombstones where people, I guess, same boat. Eltari's thinking December is also when the game's going to get released, Lester. So it was one of these things of like, all these people apparently were also playing games that uh with no fall damage, and there's just these bodies strung all the way down this hillside where people were just splattering along the hill. So, but yeah, it was awesome. So, but well, I am going to sorry Lester, you got here late. I'm getting ready to kill the stream, and I'm going to run and grab some tools for Maximus to help him get further along with the game. And so I'm off again tomorrow. Let's see. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, I think is when it starts. They're doing back-end authentication upgrades. So they said the game's going to be down for roughly 4 hours. So you'll have to find something else to do if you're off tomorrow, like me. I'm unfortunately probably going to have to go outside and do stuff in the nasty, humid, hot weather, which will suck. Either that or find something good to watch on TV. Maybe. But anyway, I'll be back streaming tomorrow evening, probably. I'm not sure when. Maybe sometime after the authentication stuff is up and the game is live. I'll jump back in, and we will continue the adventure. This is kind of like a choose your own adventure book in a way. So you plopped your thumb. They said they're taking it down at 10 a.m. Eastern, Athena. So, if you check, I don't remember where is that. I think it was maybe under announcements on the official Discord. I think they dropped that news either Thursday or Friday. I think Fiving dropped it. I'll always probably butcher his name, but I think he dropped the post. He seems to be more on the uh, server maintenance technical end of things when it comes to posts and stuff. So, but any rate, you guys have a good evening. Thanks for watching, tuning in. Thank you to the few people that subscribed today, and I really appreciate that. And we will catch you soon.